tab open. You're gonna need it smaller for this type of request. Is it class 18? Yeah. So do you have had the headphones work on this one? At all?
There.
Did you check up there for more?
No, it's probably ongoing.
I know. Here, I'll show you. So what is that? What does that look like?
Yeah, very colorful.
Harder to find. Narrow down to one that is All right, I know you're having a conversation, so that will be something that y'all can see. So I know, excuse me, so you know that it's time to wrap it up. Finish the conversation, don't start a new one, please. The question that we're looking for, at least to get started, what is unique about an infographic? But that's right. That's assuming that you know or are familiar with an infographic. So how many of you have seen or worked with an infographic before this morning? Have you ever had to look at one in another class and break it down? Gabe, have you? What class do you remember?
Yeah, it was in like 5th grade. It was in an article.
So it was part of an article. And then I'm gonna thank you for volunteering because I got another question for you. Do you remember enough about it to say, like, was the infographic, was it like basically saying the same thing as the article? Was it something in addition to the article? Like, do you remember how that infographic was set up, or what was? How
It was related straight to the article. I think it had like a. I think it was like bee population or something. How it's decreasing. So they had like bees on like a bar graph or something.
Okay.
But it was like just bees. No, it was something about like dogs. It said it had like bones for like the graph, like the lines of the graph.
Okay, and they were made out of dog bones, which was fitting with the topic, right? So if you think of the word infographic and you break it down, obviously the first 4 letters are info. Okay. Let's make sure we're all understanding what your job is right now. I'm leaving your monitors on, or having you leave your monitors on, because it's got an infographic you're going to answer about here in a second. But for now, you're just listening. So info is the first 4 letters, so obviously there's some information in it, right? The graphic part has to do with what we've been working with for the last 2 weeks, week and a half. Graphics, images, visuals, something colorful. You've been working with graphics that you chose, like pictures from your internet search. Well, an infographic is designed to get information across and at the same time look cool, or look at least appealing, or at least interesting enough to make you want to look at it and find out more. So, with that in mind, and knowing that for most of us, infographics are pretty new category of information, who's brave enough to try this? What is something unique about your infographic? Actually, Gabe has already answered it, and he might not have even known it. And he said the fact that you say it was like a bar graph. The bar graph, the information in the bar graph was represented with dog bones because the topic of the infographic had something to do related to dogs. So that is something unique about an infographic. You probably don't see too many in math time. I'm thinking of math classes. You probably don't see too many column graphs or bar graphs with anything other than just maybe different colors. It might be as far as they go with being unique. Layla, what did you come up with? Anything unique that you saw? Actually, you know what? Before you answer that, what was your infographic that you chose about? What was the topic? You both follow the same one? And it's really confusing? Top 5 mistakes professional service firms make and how to avoid them. Interesting. Okay, so let me ask you this. It's obviously not something you were interested in, like an infographic about puppies or ice cream or something really interesting. What drew you to that one specifically? Was it just the first one you came to, or what was the reason you decided to choose that one? The only one that made sense.
Nolan Francis to the office, please. Nolan Francis to the office.
Check something here. Pretty sure. So it was the only one, the first one came to that made sense. Okay. So something unique about it. If you think of it like it's kind of a bar graph, right? It's just laid horizontally instead of vertically. If you think of other bar graphs you've seen in math class recently, or the last one that you came across, what makes this one unique? Okay, so just the arrangement of it. So you're used to seeing column graphs vertically set up, and this one's horizontally set up, okay? Zach, what'd you come up with? First of all, what was your infographic about? You haven't found one yet? Oh, okay. So the bigger circles are more people, the bigger the circle, more people. Did you say more people have Skype than use Facebook? According to that? See, that's probably, I would have thought it would be the other way around. Interesting. So that one almost looks like, I don't know, what would you call that? It's circles, it's not really a pie chart, which you think of when you see big circles. It's smaller to larger. It goes counterclockwise, so it's not really set up like a clock. It's pretty cool, though. A lot of neat things. Dan, I just saw yours, now I gotta ask you.
Yeah, I don't know what you call it, but
what's the data set, or in other words, what's it about? That thing looks cool.
it's about all the different like slang formats, like all the weird words that people use. It says where they came from, whether it's like science or it was before import or it was just slang that someone came up with.
That's pretty sweet. So then the further out the line,
How long it's been around.
okay, I was gonna say the more often it's used, I don't know how they would track that. So the longer it's been around is Singledom? Singledom? That's a word I've never heard before. Baby Yaga? Baba Yaga. I don't know. Interesting. It looks cool though. Ebola? Is there anything interesting, or is it mostly just kind of really sad? What's what countries are affected the most, or what's the? In the U.S. related to Ebola? Oh, okay. So it's like dispelling myths about Ebola, like it's floating everywhere, you're going to get it eventually, that kind of stuff, which are both not true. It is scary? Even after you saw this, you're still scared?
Because in Ohio, when I was there in Akron, like the next year over was college, and that's where the girl was.
Okay, so infographics would, let's see. Abby, I'm looking over your shoulder at the one that you have on your screen. Would you say that the one you're looking at is informative? So it obviously looks cool. It's got a lot of very unique colors and arrangements and circles of different sizes. Not really shaped, they're all circles, it looks like. Would you say, by looking at that now, Abby, have you learned anything from it? Yeah? Do you see, because I don't, is there a title that goes with it that tells you what it's about? Or how do you know, in other words, how do you know what that infographic is about? Like labels for the data or whatever? Okay. So just out of curiosity, what is that one about? Social media, so similar to the, okay. Interesting, all right. The point of looking at infographics, they can be actually kind of fun. I know you're thinking, all right, this is nerd fun, this isn't really fun, but I'm happy with nerd fun because I'm a nerd and I think infographics are cool ways to show information. The best part, or the coolest part about them, is the fact that you're going to get a chance to make them. Yeah. Insert grown here. Oh, Mr. Plank. Actually, they're not. You're fearing the unknown. That's why I'm trying to get you into the know, so you're not fearing the unknown. Because they're really not that bad. It's kind of a fun way. There's websites that help you make them that are pretty user friendly. So let's quickly jump back to a reminder, because we did have some folks, Parker, that were not here yesterday that are probably wondering, and I know I explained it today, but the reason you are sitting in groups, because you are in the process of doing this middle step, analyzing and discussing those 2 video examples. Remember yesterday I was the bald guy with the eye patch and the bulging other eye. I took care of the introduction part, so you didn't have to watch that video. We watched this one together, so that if you weren't here, you're going to want to see that, because that's an example of a PSA, public service announcement. And what did we decide with PSA yesterday? What did we decide that stands, or we know what it stands for, but in our own words, what did we decide a public service announcement can do for us? Joe? You could either put it in your own words, public service announcement. You can go with the standard description of a public service announcement, but when you hear public service announcement, or let's say you had to explain it to somebody that wasn't here, how would you explain it to them?
Someone trying to teach someone like inform something about something.
Okay, so you're kind of doing a public service announcement right now about public service announcements. It's getting confusing, we're going to have to sit down shortly. So public service announcement, the idea is it is informative about a topic, but it's big picture. Okay, so it's not a message that I'm necessarily sending to one or a couple people. It's more far-reaching, broad-reaching. It's something that you would see during the Super Bowl. It'd be a commercial during the Super Bowl. Or at least while you're watching TV, you're going to see a public service announcement. You might see them in the form right now of adopting pets. That's one that I can think of that I've seen probably 5 times in the last week while watching TV. Pets that are disadvantaged, homeless, abused, whatever, adopt a pet. So that's a public service announcement. It's designed to the public, and in some way it's providing or trying to convince somebody of an opportunity to help out in some other way, shape, or form. Yesterday you took a look at what makes a good one, because we talked about the fact that there are public service announcements that aren't good, just like everything else. We want ours to be good. So these 4 things that are in a public service announcement help those PSAs fall into the good or effective category. And then you're in the process right now that you know what you're looking for in these 4 areas, these 4 A, B, C, D, you're looking for them in these 2 videos, and then with your partner you're discussing those 2 questions. Then, topic ideas is next, okay? So you're seeing on our big screen, I don't see a lot of eyes in my direction, which makes me wonder what part you're working on, because I haven't turned you loose yet. This is the part where you are. You're finalizing, you're finishing up those 2 questions, the 2 videos you watched from yesterday. Now you're deciding on a topic and moving on to quest 2. So after you decide on a topic, begin quest 2, you're going to create either an infographic, and there are directions and a link to take you to a website that shows you how to do that. Or, for those of you who groaned when I said you have to create an infographic, I'm giving you the option, you can also create a cartoon. And there's a website with a link that we'll probably do a short how-to on that tomorrow, once you get a little further along. The last thing before you leave today, so far we're taking a look at what are the effective parts gauge of or the parts of an effective PSA with those 4 areas, A, B, C, and D. And we're working towards creating your own that reaches a target audience. So that's part of your message or your your topic. Who am I sending this to? Who am I gearing it toward? Remember the one we watched yesterday? We decided was roughly your age group, maybe a few years younger or a few years older, but roughly your age group. You're gonna give me an exit ticket before you go, and I'll have a reminder up here on the screen of what your topic will be, so that tomorrow we can get further along in creating infographic or cartoon. Questions on the next step? Dan?
Are we answering questions in the Word document?
No, actually you are, and I don't think I have it up there, but when you get to this bit, there it is. It even says in the directions that you're just discussing. I just want you bouncing ideas off each other. Good question. Anybody else? Matthew, as soon as I tell you to go, what is your first step going to be?
To start searching up for infographics.
Okay. Is your partner here today?
No.
So then, were you guys in the process of discussing those, remember these two? Did you get through these two videos yesterday?
We got, still on for the first one.
Okay, so that's where you're gonna pick up where you left off. Do the best you can, even though you don't have a partner. Anybody else with a question? Raise your hand if you know what it is you're going to do as soon as I turn you loose. Parker, you with me? Back row, I don't see any hands in the back row. All right, I see hands now. So I got 3 people that I'm gonna come help remember what we're gonna do next. Ready? Set go. See. Why don't you work with Matthew? Matthew and Dan wasn't here yesterday. Actually, no, I lied. That's not a good idea. Parker wasn't here either. So you guys are a group with Dan and Parker. Say what? No, they gotta start. He got to start yesterday. Remind me who your partner was, Matthew?
Roland.
Mason, do you know what you're doing? I didn't see any of you, so I'm just checking. Make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, sure, I do, but.